you know, direct me in a place where I can get out of this mess. And it wasn't more of like the drugs or...
I was very codependent and had a very addictive personality. And so I searched, for fulfillment and happiness through my eating disorder, through control, through other things, because I didn't have a higher power or anything to have the faith or a love or anything to, help me and guide me through my life, and so I partied a lot, I drank a lot, I did a lot of drugs in my life, and unfortunately it led me down a road where I no longer recognized who I was anymore. When I grew up a Jehovah's Witness, and so, growing up into a religion and a God that I didn't understand, nor did I feel attached to, to the religion, I pretty much, grew a hatred towards that God, or at least what I thought, was, that God that was supposed to guide me and be there for me, wasn't. And so I very easily blame, that God for everything that went wrong in my life. And because, everything did go wrong, it was an excuse for me to, live my life to like the fullest in all the wrong places. I got to a place where, the person who I was dating at the time was a former, or, was Muslim, but wasn't a practicing Muslim. And I remember when he would talk about, the Quran and Allah. And there was one thing that, he was, he had issues just like I had issues. And he would talk about Allah in a way with so much love that no matter what went wrong in his life and all the wrong things and sins and things that, we both did at the time, he still had that love for Allah that I wanted. I realized that I was sunk down into a place where I no longer recognized who I was. And I remember at that point, I got down, on my knees, not realizing this was sujood position. I did not know that getting down on my knees, put my forehead on the floor, and I asked Allah, and I said, Allah, if you are the true God, if you are the savior of me, and are going to guide me, if this is my direction, if where I'm going to go, show me, direct me in a place where I can get out of this mess. And it wasn't more of like the drugs or where I was in my life, it was the emptiness, the hole in my heart, that nothing could fulfill it. And it took to a place where I realized when I was on the floor and I was crying, and I was sobbing because I was desperate for change, I was desperate for love, I was desperate to connect with others, because that's how hard my heart was. It was hard. Nothing could penetrate it, not even my daughter. And for me to go down to that position and ask Allah, just take a chance, it wasn't going to hurt me. At that point, I had lost everything. And I put my hands in the air and I said, please help get me out of this situation. If you are the true God, show me. And I kid you not, 2 weeks later, I don't know how it happened, I was in a treatment center, my bills were paid, I was moved out, and I realized that being in this treatment center, Allah had answered my prayer. And that's when I realized, He is the true God. He is the only God. And that's when I felt that perfectly, at that moment, is when I wanted to do my declaration to Allah and do my shahada. My intention, it was just natural. It was perfect. It was, when it dawned on me, it's only the beginning, honestly. It's only the beginning. And it's already been blissful. I think more than anything, it has been the ability to have peace and ease and calm in my heart, is being able to love. All these things that people take for granted, because we live in a world where it's a fast life, you need to run and you need to achieve things in order to be happy, and it's like the complete opposite. It was like a facade.
when I reverted over, it was like, oh my gosh, my true, real happiness. I have nothing now. Before I had everything, and I have nothing now. And I'm the happiest, most content, most happiest person in the world. I am, because I have Allah in my life. And nothing, and no one can take that away from me. Nothing. And that's what, I just can't explain it in words.